Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be walking you through the Google Sheet version of financial forecasting and dynamic financial forecasting model. So as you know, I already have this kind of financial model available for you to download in Microsoft Excel version. So this is the Microsoft Excel version of the model. As you can see, we have drop downs and other features. This is the exact replica, but in the Google Sheet. Now, if you don't have Microsoft Excel or you don't have access to Microsoft Excel, you can use same exact model, or you can start using this exact same model in form of Google Sheet. Everything remains same with some few changes. So basically I have copied or created the version of Excel model, this particular Microsoft Excel version of model in Google Sheet. And there are a few changes between Excel and Google Sheet in form of some form control, as you can see here, and also the chart. So we'll go through in this video what are these changes. But basically the concept and the analysis would remain same. So there are some features where in Google Sheet you cannot use in Excel, and there are some features in Excel, especially in form of form controls and drop downs, which are not available in Google Sheet, but there are workaround for that, and that's what I'm going to explain in this video. So to start with, this model looks exactly same as Excel model. As you can see, we have here the shapes, while there is no such shape form of feature in Google Sheets. So I have used the cell itself and some formatting, and also there is one more feature in Google Sheet which is called in cell picture. So I have used this kind of images, PNG images of this kind of icons, and this mainly financial icons I have got, and I have which you can download a free copy from the any website. You just Google it, and I can use the feature called insert in cell images. So if you go here, and there is something called image and in cell image in the Google Sheet, so you can use that as well. And here I have just used the formatting and the cell and merge them and to put this particular revenue KPI card. So trying to create same kind of effect in Google Sheet, and it looks also nice, visually appealing, even better than I should say from Excel. But it is the way you want. You can even make this kind of picture and analysis in Excel as well. But that is the workaround for the KPI cards, which we have in Excel in form of shapes, which we don't have here in the Google Sheet. Error checks will remain same because most of the formula I have used in Excel are also available in Google Sheet as well. So there are no complex features or Excel's feature or Excel formulas which are very unique to Excel only that I haven't used in the building of this model. So this model can be easily used in Google Sheet as well. Now Google Sheet, if you don't know, it's a free spreadsheet application provided by Google. So if you have a Google account, any free Gmail or Google account, you can start using spreadsheet in form of Google Sheet. So if you have a Google account like this, and if you go here and see the Google options, you see there are many apps here you can see. So here we have Office apps like Google Docs and Sheets. Okay, and there are slides. So these are the replica of Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. The only difference between these and Microsoft Excel, the main difference is that they are web-based. So these particular sheets, docs, and slides, anything you prepare in this particular environment will be available all the time as long as you have internet and anytime. So that's the advantage of having a Google Sheet. So it's free, completely free. So you can start using that as well. And the methodology would remain same as I have prepared this Excel version. So you can see the link in the description of the video on how to use and make changes this particular template in Excel. Same will apply to the Google Sheet. So there are no differences, major differences here. As you can see, the formulas also remain same. The main changes would be the drop down. So here in the Excel sheet, we have these form controls. If you go to developer tab, we have this kind of form controls here, which are not there unfortunately in the Google Sheet. So I have used a workaround where the visual thing remains same. You can just select and change the percentages, that remains same. But instead of form control, since we don't have here in Google Sheet, I have used the data validation, which is very simple to use. So here if you see, I have used data validation and also indirect function. So if you see here, choose function is there, which we had in the Excel version as well, choose. But instead of using directly cell references, I have used indirect function. So indirect function basically change a text reference into a real reference. So what is indirect function do is selecting this cell, that is C12 for these mobile phones, and giving the value for it. So where is this value residing? If you go to ranges tab in the Google Sheet, here. So if you go the name range of this particular value 1 and 2, that's what we need, right? 1 and 2. The choose function, if you know the basics of choose function, which is part of my course of building this financial model. So if you are enrolled into my course, you'll know how to use choose function because I'm covering that as well. But basically choose function requires 1 and 2 condition. So that is I'm giving indirectly based on this tax reference. So you need to select this particular cell E52 here and go to data and name ranges. The name range for this particular cell is selective. So if you go here and see selective, this particular range, if you go to edit, the selective word, the tax is given to this cell. Ranges, that is the sheet name, and the reference is E52, which is this cell. So if you put selective anywhere in Google Sheet like this, it will give you the reference to this particular cell value, that is E52, right? So it's more of a indirect way of referencing the value in form of tax. So here I'm not referencing to directly that particular value itself or cell E52. I'm referencing the word selective, which is a tax. So if you change this value, and let's wait a minute, like here, because the Google Sheet calculation takes a while, you see the value has changed to 5, but I didn't input 5 number directly here, or I didn't input or reference the E52 cell, but still whatever the reference I have given here, the value, because it's the name range is selective, it is coming here automatically. So let's change back to 2. Same way for linear, I have given this cell reference, that is E53. So if you go here, linear here the reference is linear. So whenever I use linear tax anywhere in the formula with the help of indirect function, that is most important, I'll get the value from this cell, right? So linear, when I put anywhere linear, even directly I put linear like this, I get the value of this cell E53. So that's how name ranges, and if you use name ranges with indirect function in Excel or in Google Sheet, you'll get this kind of reference value. So if I go back to the new business and go here, if you see here, I have reference indirect to cell this particular cell selective. So whenever there is a selective, it chooses what? We go back to name ranges. Select is value 2, right? And if you put linear, okay, select is value 1. So basically here this formula indirect selecting 1 or 2 based on this particular tax selection. So that helps in giving same kind of feel and same kind of dynamism for this particular financial model scenario. Even if you don't have the form controls, you can use this kind of trick to make same kind of effect, right? So everywhere, instead of giving directly 1 and 2, I'm giving indirect function like this, which serves our purpose, right? So that was the one change. Apart from that, everything else remains same. So wherever we have these changes, I have changed this to this kind of text boxes, linear and selective. Here also linear and selective, right? Instead of linear, you can put word fixed or any other word as well, because linear would means month on month growth for any scenario. In case of cost of sales, cash flow, that is a credit period or cash sales here in this case particular scenario, right? Also the data validation are there, so you can just use that. That is available in Google Sheet just like Excel sheet. So there are no changes there. And overall the model is working as good as Excel version. So there are no changes. Error checks is also there. So once again, if you want to learn about this template in form of Excel, because as I said, apart from these changes, everything remains same, you can check the link in the description of this video where you can learn about the Excel version of this model, which is, as I said, is almost same except these changes for the form controls, and we are using here indirect function. Here, as I mentioned, I put this kind of beautiful visual KPI cards instead of the shapes we have in Excel. And similarly for the existing business as well, I have created the exact same format. Here I have changed to linear and selective. So once again, even if you don't have access to Microsoft Excel or any kind of spreadsheet application not installed on your computer, or organization doesn't allow you to install anything, you can just start using your browser and use this template or build this template step by step. And for building this template step by step, you need to enroll into my course, for which the link is in the description. As I mentioned before, building this template in Excel would be the same as in Google Sheet. So both method would remain same. Only change would be, instead of form controls, we are using this kind of indirect function and also the data validation. So that is fairly simple. Basically, I have gone here in the ranges, created these two ranges like this and created data validation for it. So if you go back here in here, and if I go here and go to data validation, so here the range is it's from the list, okay, and here the ranges is D52 and D53 from the ranges tab. So if you go here, this is the range I have selected for the data validation. So let's go back to data validation, right? and I copied the same everywhere. And now I'm using indirect function to reference it, right? As I explained before, indirect function gives the reference to this text because the name range is given indirect to this particular cell E52 for select and linear, right? So that's how this particular scenario is working using indirect function. Now, if you go back to the dashboards, this is the dashboard. Let me zoom out a bit. So this is a beautiful dashboard I've created with help of Google Charts or Google Sheets charts. This looks fairly different, maybe even more beautiful. I don't know, it based on your own choice and your own taste. But here, the dashboard is, I've tried to replicate what we have in Excel version as well. So here, of course, we can't bring any picture as a background, just like in Excel sheet. And I want to keep it as simple as possible, but the chart are different. So we'll go through that one by one. But basically I have tried to create this kind of environment or scenario in Google Sheet, just like Excel. So here you can see we have KPI cards, which again have used the cart feature in the chart section. So if I double click it, we have this kind of feature called charts. If I go to select chart, here we have this kind of, which is called scorecard chart. So this is more of a scorecard chart, and I have used it and selected only the gross profit. So that I have used here. And you can format it accordingly. You can change the value. Again, this is the in cell picture I have used. So that's why it looks beautiful. And I have put here the decimal of the numbers. Now the first chart is the donut chart, which is available, which is slightly different than the Excel sheet version. So if I go here, Excel version, the donut chart is different. We cannot bring background as we do in Excel with the shapes here, but I have kept the white background, which looks also very nice. And here it's basically a very simple chart based on your data. So here the data is also there. Okay. And also the second chart is product distribution. Unfortunately, we don't have the feature in Google Sheet to create this kind of column, inside column. We cannot change this kind of width, the bar width. If you can do in Excel like this, we don't have this option in Google Sheet. So you cannot change the series overlap or gap width in Google Sheet, or in case of Google bar charts like this, or I should say Google column chart. But we have another option of creating this kind of effect. So this you can learn if you have the access to this Google Sheet. The link is in the description to get it. But you can create this kind of effect, which is also looking very nice. So we have sale of 903 and profit of 933, and it's also dynamic. This something is not available readily in the Excel version of the chart. So here the colors are changing accordingly. So if you see, this bar's color is blue, but here is white. And if you go outside, it's also changing accordingly. Now, if you go down, we have a profit distribution per product, which is fairly one simple chart. Again, with the Google Sheet, we cannot do this kind of dynamic color changing of our highest profit and lowest profit. That limitation is there with the Google Charts. So the Google Sheet chart, we cannot do that. So I have kept a simple presentation of our gross profit percentage for each of our product lines. So this chart is basically the replica of this chart, which is the cash flow performance monthly. Here also we cannot have this kind of dynamic selection, but here I have used a waterfall chart. As you can see, the waterfall chart showing the performance of our OCF, which is increasing each month, as you can see. And here also I have used three different factors, like sales, collection, and also the payment. So I have used different combo charts available in the Google Sheet. Similarly, the monthly product performance of entire company is also here. I have used same technique as here. So monthly gross profit we can see, and also the percentage of gross profit according to our performance in a month throughout the year, according to our performance throughout the year per month. So this is the version of our dynamic financial forecasting model in Google Sheet. Same way with the existing business dashboard, we have different colors, slightly different, but the concept is same. As you can see, existing business ranges would remain same because most of the functionalities are available with the Google Sheet as in Excel. So you can just create this version as well. And as I mentioned before, we want to create this chart in Google Sheet. Just enroll into my course and follow the step-by-step instruction as you do in Excel, but with the Google Sheet. As I mentioned, 99.5% things are exactly same as Excel in Google Sheet. Everything would work just fine as in you're working in Excel sheet. So don't worry about it. If you have any questions, if you have any clarification, please let me know. I'll be happy to help you. So the link for the enrollment in the course is in the description of this video. So you can check out the link, check out the preview videos, and you can know how to enroll in this course. There is also special discount as well, so you can get a benefit of that. So you don't have to have an advanced spreadsheet tool like Microsoft Excel. You can always use the free tool, a web-based tool like Google Sheet, to create this kind of amazing and fully dynamic financial forecasting model for your business, that is to forecast your income and expenditure and profit and loss, I should say, and also the cash flow. So the preview video or complete understanding of this model is available as a video, and the link is in the description. Again, the video coverage is only for Excel sheet, but as I mentioned again, this is also applicable to Google Sheet as well, except the few features of data validation and also the form control, which are not there in the Google Sheet, unfortunately. And also the charts, there are some changes which you can always learn easily by following simple step-by-step process of creating these charts. If you have any questions and if you want to know where to download this particular Google Sheet form of financial dashboard, the link is available in the description, and you can go there and learn how to get this particular model in the Google Sheet. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much.